I realized, okay, this story can go somewhere. There is a point. I am so out of practice and I've lost momentum and I've lost the immersion. It's almost like having too much free time kind of backfires. I don't like what I wrote, but I'm glad that I tried. Hello, everyone. It has been a while. I've been a little AWOL the past few weeks because my mom was visiting. She lives across the country and she only visits like a month or two out of the year, usually in summer, but this particular trip was earlier than usual and it was shorter than usual because her main objective was to help me get a car, which is literally life-changing. It sounds dramatic, but I live in a very rural area where if you do not have your own transportation, you can't really have much of a life. There's nowhere to walk to, there's no public transportation. I don't even have really anybody else in the area to ask to like help me get to certain places. It's a whole thing. I haven't been able to work, so now I get to start the fun, exciting process of job searching, which I am nervous about, and I question how much luck I'll have with the process because my resume is not very impressive, but I am eager and I am hopeful because I like money. Like, it'll open a lot of doors, it opens a lot of new opportunities. So that's the big life update for me. That's what's going on now. So again, I did start the job searching process, but there is always that inherent amount of waiting. You know, you submit an application and then you could hear something in a couple of days. You might not hear anything for a month. What does this look like for you and me? What does this look like for the vlogging and the writing? I'm hoping I'm able to add a little more variety to these vlogs. I'm able to go to the library and cafes and even just like make a day trip to like do a nature hike and like work in the forest or something. I can't go too crazy because have y'all seen gas prices? But I am hoping for as often as I do this, I think I can still add a little more interest, I hope. As well as for me creatively, like just having those third spaces to be able to work and just for ADHD and like having that variety and being able to switch things up a bit. I'm really hoping will help my projects. It might be a little awkward and weird to try to film in public at first. I mean, I'm sure there's discreet ways to do it, but I'm still like, even if I wasn't filming, I think like working in public is, I'm so self-conscious. I don't know, it's like a social anxiety thing, whatever. I'll get over it, I hope. I think that's the life update part of it / changes to vlogging. As far as writing updates, even though I haven't touched my story while my mom was here, before she got here after my last vlog, I think I said in at least one previous vlog, if not multiple, that when it comes to Project Hyacinth, which is, if you're new here, my adult cyberpunk novel, that I started brainstorming in November of last year and I'm still technically brainstorming it. It's fine. I have said that I did not want to start trying to draft this story until I had an ending in mind, at least one possible ending, because historically every project I have begun, I never had an ending in mind for, and then I inevitably get stuck and I can't ever get unstuck. So for this one, I was trying to make it a point of don't even begin attempting to draft until you know somewhere the story can go. So there was an afternoon, it was like a Friday afternoon, where I was feeling very contemplative. It was one of those days where I had the liberty to do nothing and I just took advantage of that and I leaned into that very like intentional boredom. Not even with the intention of working on the story and brainstorming for that, it's just eventually my mind went to the story and I got like a couple of character ideas that I don't even know if I was going to stick with those, but it was just the gears began turning and then I actually did start to get ideas for endings, multiple ideas for how this story could end. Nothing in explicit detail, it was literally just like, this character does this. But that would be enough for me to latch onto and be like, okay, well, how do we get there and what does that look like and what are the consequences of that? Well, I had like 5 or 6 different ideas. Some of them weren't like drastically different. Some of them were just sort of like shifts in context. But it was very exciting to me because I've never really come up with an ending before. It felt strange and it was very encouraging because I realized, okay, this story can go somewhere. There is a point. There are multiple points that could be made with this story depending on which ending I choose. I still don't know if I'm ready to start drafting yet. I want to because I miss just doing writing. I really miss that. I think I said that in the last vlog. I don't know what my next writing session is gonna look like. I was trying to look at my notes, a couple of my notes, to just start getting back in the headspace, because I'm feeling a little overwhelmed now, being like, oh my god, where did I leave off and what do I want to do when I get back into it? Where do I start? Today is not going to be a writing day. I just wanted to film this intro now just to get the video started, to get back into the vlogging shoes. Now this eye's itchy. I'm having a hard time now. When I do take the time to get back into writing, then I've already filmed the preface and the intro and I can just jump into the actual work. Wednesday, I do have a dentist appointment in the morning, but I think that might work out because I'll already be in town, and what I might do is go to the library or something, and maybe we could try to get a little work done there. I think that would be fun. So that's my update. That's my plan. I don't really know what this vlog's gonna look like. I think having a car and sort of having these options now is strange to me. I'm so used to just being like, I can't go anywhere or do anything and I have to work with what I have in this space. It's still not second nature to be like, oh, I could just go to the cafe today. I'm hoping to get back in the swing of writing. I have a lot of other stuff to juggle. Again, like the job searching, writing, vlogging, art, and job stuff. Not to mention, I'm trying to read more because now that I can go to the library and check out books have deadlines. So I have to read a little faster than I usually do. I'm reading 2 books right now, which is so unusual for me. I never read more than 1 book at a time, but my best friend lent me a few books from her collection. The last one of hers that she lent me I'm reading now is Penance by Eliza Clark. This is a genre that I don't usually consume, but I'm okay with that because I want to read more outside of my comfort zone. That would help my creative process. But then the other book that I checked out from the library is, try not to dox myself here, All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu. I've been wanting to read something by him for a while because I watched the show Pantheon, which was based off of, I believe, short stories that he wrote. And then it's a cyberpunk novel. As someone who is an aspiring cyberpunk author, I have read an embarrassingly small amount of cyberpunk stories. I've been enjoying making more time to read now. I usually would read before bed, but now I'm also trying to read in the morning, right when I get up, instead of like grabbing my phone or just letting my mind wander too much before and let myself get overwhelmed. And that's been going well so far, I think. And my other intention is, once I get back to writing, I believe it was Brielle Writes on YouTube, one of her writing vlogs, she mentioned doing like a reading warm-up before a writing session, and I was like, that's so smart and almost obvious, and I don't know why I didn't think of doing that myself. I said about like reading different genres, but I also want to read more of my genre to sort of get a better understanding of it. Both reading in your genre and out of your genre can be equally inspiring. I feel like reading in the genre, as well as things like making your playlist or looking at the aesthetic on your Pinterest board, just things that get you in the headspace of your story immediately before starting to write, I think is helpful. At least it has been in the past for me. It was kind of a tangent, kind of related. That's where we are right now. So I will probably talk to you again on Wednesday. It is me and my wet hair against the world. Good Thursday morning. It is not Wednesday, as promised. I have not been having a very productive week so far. I've been prioritizing the job stuff, which is the most important thing, but also in the application process, there's really you kind of get to a point of diminishing returns where it's like, you can apply to 4 places, you can apply to 1 billion places, but no matter what, there's still going to be a waiting period of an amount of time you have no way of determining. So I have like 6 applications out of there in the world now, and I'm in that waiting period. I need to work on my other goals, but I have not been able to focus. We're going to keep trying, okay? We're going to keep trying. As far as writing, my writing routine, what it was before is I would try to get up early every morning and I would spend at least an hour. I would open my laptop immediately before I had time to even think about anything else, and I would just spend time on the story, brainstorming, researching, whatever I was able to do in the morning. I would do that every day, but then on Wednesdays, very arbitrarily chosen, would be my writing day, where I give myself the whole day to work on my project, which was what I was gonna try to do yesterday. I had like a whole plan. I had a dentist appointment and I was gonna go there and I was gonna run errands and then I was gonna go to the library, and then everything had to get rescheduled. My dentist rescheduled, and then I learned that the library was closed yesterday, so everything went out the window. I should have just done a whole day of writing at home, as I have been doing this entire time, but I was so frustrated by my plans getting uprooted that I ended up just kind of pouting all day. I am hoping to find a little more success today, my plan is to go to the library first. I do have to return the book that I loaned anyway, maybe an hour or two there. Try to get something done. I don't want to set lofty goals right now because I am so out of practice and I've lost momentum and I've lost the immersion in the story. So my my only goal for now is to just try and get back in the headspace of the story. It's not that I wasn't thinking about it at all, but again, I just wasn't in it as much. That's the plan for today. I'll probably also swing by the bookstore because I have a disease that will not allow me to walk past the bookstore and I have to go inside, and when I go inside, I cannot leave empty-handed. There's no cure. You kind of just gotta manage your symptoms. I have a problem, I'll admit it, but I'm not doing anything about it. Hi, it's Saturday. This vlog has had 0 writing in it so far. I'm aware of that, and I apologize, and if you're still here in spite of that, I greatly appreciate your attendance. I knew this one was gonna be awkward to film, because I just am in this transitional period of getting a car, and job searching, and trying to resume a routine that got interrupted by my mom's visit. Not in a negative way, just inherently circumstances change. So I had no success at the library. I was distracted because I had an appointment and I was worried about leaving early enough, and I did not give myself a big enough cushioning. If I do this again, I either need to schedule something early in the morning and then have the rest of the day to be at the library or the cafe or whatever, or if the appointment or the obligation is later in the day, then I need to leave super early in the morning so I have a big cushion in the morning before my other obligation. But the other thing I was distracted by was I got a call from one of the applications I had sent out. I was super early to my dentist appointment, so I checked my voicemail while I was in the waiting room, and they called and were like, "We wanted to see if you wanted to do an interview today." And I was like, oh shit. Long story short, I got a job! Yippee! I am excited, I am relieved, and I am nervous all at the same time. I do not know yet what this means for my schedule. So this is Memorial Day weekend. Tomorrow and Monday I will be going to my family camp, and then Tuesday I go in I don't know if I'm starting Tuesday, but I'm just supposed to meet her, and I don't know if it's just gonna be like paperwork. And then because I don't know what that entails, I don't know what the rest of my week looks like either. So today is the only day that I know for sure where I am, that I am at home. I'm not going anywhere today because I'm tired, because I had a very busy week, even though I didn't record very much of that. Now that I have a car and there are days where I have the option to stay home, it's so much more relaxing than when I did not have a car and I had to stay home no matter what I wanted to do. Anyway, I haven't gotten any writing done. I've barely tried. That was another thing with the library, is like I knew I was starting at a disadvantage anyway because I am so out of touch with my writing practice. I knew it was going to be hard to get back into it, so I'm glad I went just to like begin building that practice. I would like to try to get something accomplished today. I'm just having a hard time because I really want to rebuild my writing routine, but I also have been neglecting an art commission that I'm feeling really guilty about neglecting. I mean, it's a friend, so I know that this person is like patient and understanding. I still would like to have it done so they don't have to wait around and so that I can get it off my plate. But I do, like, I don't know. It's such a new normal that I am adjusting to, and I still don't know exactly what it's going to look like, and I have so many things I'm trying to balance now. I'm grateful for these changes, but it is challenging to adjust to very dramatic change that happened pretty quickly. I am gonna hate editing this particular clip. Oh my god. So I was reading, and then I made myself clean the kitchen because I knew the dishes were going to haunt me if I didn't get around to doing that. I was watching writing content while I was cleaning in the hopes that it would inspire me and give me some motivation to work on my own stuff. And it is encouraging to watch other people work on their stories, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like doing anything. Just physically, my bones yearn to just lie down on the couch and watch TV all day. Is it listening to my body? If I do that, it's restful, sure. But I'm also like, I know part of my stress is that I'm not working on these things right now. I fell out of practice. If I'm not working on something creative, I'm not feeling that sense of personal fulfillment and that sense of purpose. It sounds so dramatic, but you know what I mean? Like, if you're creative, you know what I mean, right? I think I'm just nervous that it's like I'm starting a job before I found my rhythm with my creative stuff again, and I'm worried that if I start the job, it's going to be tremendously more difficult to start the writing again. But I'm also like, maybe it'll help because maybe like a structure, like the scheduling and like having that external sort of accountability, and because then I kind of have something to latch onto and plan around. It's almost like having too much free time kind of backfires. Maybe that's I don't know. I almost feel bad that I'm vlogging at all because nothing is happening in this video. At least I have a document for myself and I have a record of like what I'm thinking and feeling in the middle of this change. Oh dear. Thought some iced coffee might give me a little pick-me-up. It's not really iced coffee weather. You know what? I'm gonna stop myself right there. It's always iced coffee weather. It's always hot coffee weather. It's whatever you want weather. Even if you don't like coffee, then have something else. Slap that on a pillow. intimidating. I'm so mad you can't marry him. Hey y'all, it's Tuesday. This vlog has been a bit of a nothing burger so far, and I apologize. If you're still here, you're a real one, and I appreciate you very deeply. If you're seeing this, that must mean either something happens eventually that I thought worth posting, or nothing happens and I didn't care and I posted it anyway. So I was supposed to do the job stuff today, but that got rescheduled for tomorrow, and I thought, you know what, that's okay, because since I don't know what my schedule after that looks like, I at least have today to try to make progress on some of my projects. And I really want to do art stuff because I haven't done anything with that in a while, and I really want to try to do something with writing because I also haven't done anything with that for a while. You saw over the weekend, I did do a little free writing session in my writing notebook. It was crap, but it's the most I have done to touch this story in any capacity in like over a month. I don't like what I wrote, but I'm glad that I tried, because that's more than I've done in a while. It's a little intimidating and overwhelming to jump back into it because I don't know where to start from. If I was drafting, you could be like, I'll just pick up where I left off. It's a much more linear sort of thing to get through. I just have been trying to go over my notes and do some more brainstorming and refresh myself on certain details that are going to inform scene ideas and all this information. I just have to refamiliarize myself with the project. Even if I just do like a couple of hours on that today, and then I can do like a couple of hours on this art commission that I've been bad about doing, that'll at least make me feel better that I've tried. I was debating just scrapping this vlog until I did start the job. I was like, okay, wait till you start working, and then you know your schedule and you get used to the job, and then once you know what your schedule is, then rebuild your writing routine when you're not working, and then once you have the writing routine built, then go back to vlogging. But I'm like, if I wait too long, then the vlogging is going to be hard to to get back into, so I thought I would just keep trying. I don't know how watchable this one is. I'm very anxious about the change. I'm very nervous about how I'm going to handle it. I'm very excited because I want this change. This is going to open a lot of doors. My world is totally different now. It sounds so dramatic, but like I can't explain how not dramatic it is because just how genuinely restricted my lifestyle has had to be for so long. But there's also this sort of sadness and almost like a grief to it. Consciously, I'm excited about this. Consciously, this is what I wanted, and I know this is good and this is for the better. And I'm very eager to start this next phase. But it's also like it's a change, and with change, there is an inherent loss of something. Even if I wasn't happy with what I'm losing, it's still just like psychologically, my brain is like, we're losing something. Losing something is sad, so we're gonna feel a little sad about it. I don't know if that sounds like crazy. It's whatever. I'm not gonna get too much into it. I have a therapist for all that. Anyway, we're gonna try to do some creative projects. We're gonna try to do some progress. I'm not gonna set lofty goals, but I want to at least feel confident in saying some effort was made by the end of today. I need to go to the post office today too, and I have to also do, I got an email with like some preliminary stuff for the job that I have to do online. It is about 9:30, maybe till like 11, try to work on my story, and then I'll go to the post office, and then after that I could try to do my art stuff, and then it would be like lunchtime after that. Then I would go from there. That's the plan for today. Hang in there. I'll figure something out eventually. I hope. I'm sure I will eventually. I started out by reading some of my notes on the backstory for some of the premise, like some of the exposition information, and that was a little overwhelming, and I realized it's just as messy as when I left it, so I kind of got a little overwhelmed by that, and I thought, okay, let me look at something else. So I jumped into my character profiles, and I realized I never specified what Sawyer's job is, what her occupation is. I have Gabriel is a university professor, I have Alex is a police detective, and I even have scene ideas that would make those jobs relevant, how they would tie into my characters' daily lives. I never figured that out for Sawyer. I said engineer, but what does that mean? That could mean so many things. So I was like, okay, I guess I should look into types of engineers. So I just started doing a quick little simple Wikipedia search, see if I could get some ideas, either for what she specifically does, or maybe I end up deciding she's not an engineer and she does something a little different, because I also am trying to think of her mother. Her mother's work is a big part of what is happening in the plot here. I'm thinking, okay, I need to also specify what her mother is doing, and then I have to decide, do I want Sawyer to be in a similar path as her mother, or does she actually do something very different? She's a character that I thought I knew more about than I actually do. If I don't get too much out of this particular session, at least I know that's something that has to percolate in the back of my mind. My trek to the post office, I'm a little quite flushed, as it is warm today, but I got a little package. Do the world's smallest unboxing. I don't know if anybody's gonna care about this, but I just think unboxings are fun. So, it's a little Resident Evil pencil pouch. It's so cute. Oh, it's double-sided too. I didn't realize it was on both sides. It was a little treat for myself. I figure since I'm out going places now, to the cafe or the library or whatever, help me carry my little pieces of travel stationery and such. That was fun. Oh, here's the artist if anybody's interested. I also got a Resident Evil pin from them. Anyway, so yeah, that was fun. Yay. I have concocted a little iced coffee. I'm going to try and get something else done for this story, make some kind of progress, spend more time on it. I don't know if I'm gonna accomplish anything. It is hard to focus, one, because I have ADHD and I'm having trouble with my medication lately, so that's a thing. But secondly, even if I was on medication, I have the problem where it's like, I'm working on this thing, but in my head, I should be working on this other thing. But I also know if I was working on the other thing, I would be thinking, well, I should be doing this third thing. And no matter what I'm doing, I feel like I should be doing something else. I think I need to remember that, like, I have more time than I think I do. I also don't have to have extraordinary expectations. I can set a timer for an hour, and whatever I get done in an hour is I spent time on it, and that counts as progress. And I'm just trying to look at it that way, especially coming from doing nothing for this story for over a month. Good morning, everyone. It is May 28th. It is Thursday, and today is going to be the last day of this vlog. I can't even call this a writing vlog because not much writing has been accomplished, but it is the vlog of a writer whose routine has been interrupted because of life changes. Good life changes, positive, desired, necessary, but an interruption nonetheless. I considered scrapping this whole thing because it's really not, probably not very interesting to watch. If you're seeing this, I posted it anyway for a few reasons. First is that I just felt guilty deleting the footage, even if it's not particularly interesting footage. Two, I wanted to still try and hit my goal of posting a video per calendar month. I don't even think I'm gonna hit that goal as of now because I have to work tomorrow. Tomorrow will be my first real day. I don't actually have a full schedule yet either, so I don't know if I'm also working at all over the weekend. So I don't know if I'll have time to edit this video at all before the end of the month. But anyway, the third reason, it's kind of a realistic vlog that, you know, I'm a writer. I'm still calling myself a writer. My project is still ongoing, but sometimes progress slows because life happens, be it good or bad, or simply just a change. Your circumstances can change, which means your priorities might need to change, your expectations need to change. So here's a little evidence of me acknowledging that and also at the same time thinking that I can make the same type of progress in spite of that and then disproving myself in real time. And then the last reason of me sharing this anyway is because if nothing else, it's just a little record for myself of this particular change in life. Maybe that sounds really dumb and cringy. To some people, it's like, okay, you got a job, like whatever. Like it is big for me. It is very overwhelming, and I feel like there's gonna be a pretty respectable adjustment period. I have to respect that for what it is and how it's going to affect me and my routine and stuff. So since tomorrow is my first real day, I just thought I would end my vlog here as the end of this weird little middle period. If you're here for writing content and you watch this vlog anyway, then you are the realest one. You are my favorite child. If you have made it this far in the video, comment a fish emoji. The fish doesn't mean anything. I just want to see if you're paying attention. This vlog is so like ironic because it's like not much happened on camera, so it's boring to watch, but so much was happening for me off camera. That's why there isn't much on camera. But I am hoping this vlog is an outlier. I hope the next time I talk to you, things have settled down and I have my work schedule and I know what my routine is, or I know where to fit in my routine around the work schedule, and I can begin building something with some structure, find my footing again with everything. I am hopeful that next time I talk to you, progress has been made of some caliber. I just kind of wanted to wrap this vlog up too because I just needed it off my plate. With all of that said, I greatly appreciate anyone who's watched this video, or if you've watched any of my videos. Maybe it was relaxing, maybe it was a good little podcast to have on in the background, or maybe it resonated if you also have had difficulty. There was a bird, sorry, I just got distracted. If you have also had trouble with a big life change, not even trouble, but just an inherent need to recalibrate, it happens. So I'm gonna leave you for now, and I wish you luck in whatever you're working on. Wish me luck with this change and figuring everything out. I can't wait to have good news for you next time we speak. Again, thanks for watching, and I'm terrible with outros. I'll never be good at outros. It's simply never gonna happen. Okay, bye!